New apartment? First video in the new apartment? That ugly door isn't behind me anymore. I think it's looking pretty solid. What's going on, guys? My name is Billy C. Welcome back to the channel. And in this video, it's going to be more of a rant. I'm going to drop some cold, hard knowledge and facts about PrizePicks, UnderDog daily fantasy sites. I think it's very important that you understand this and get a little dose of reality. I'm not here to discourage you from using daily fantasy sites, but if you want to make money long-term betting on these platforms, you need to understand what I'm about to tell you. Lock it in with me for a few minutes. It's going to be well worth your time. And as always, before we hop into the videos, guys, if you like this type of content, please smash that thumbs up button. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification so you don't miss any videos that I drop down in the future, right? Also, if you're thinking about trying OddsJam, use my code Billy20 for the entire history that you use OddsJam. You'll save 20% off no matter what plan that you decide to use. Helps me out a lot because it shows OddsJam that you're consuming my content and I sent you there. And also, you're getting a nice little discount, right? So whatever plan you're picking, you save 20% off, Billy20. All right, let's figure out what I'm talking about. Let's find out the goods, the detail. I feel this is a great time to drop this video because the MLB All-Star Weekend just passed, and we hit literally like the slowest part of the sports calendar year. And so as we gear up for the second half of the MLB season and we gear up for college football, pro football, I want to drop this little bit of information for you. Now, I'm not here to show you my May of this year to brag about how much money I made. What I'm here to show you is variance, right? So if you followed my videos, you're familiar with the channel. All the bets that I make on the positive EV tool are straight wagers. What do I mean by straight wagers? That means I bet the Dodgers money line, Dodgers to win. Maybe I bet the over-under on the Chiefs-Bengals game. Maybe I bet the Lakers plus 3.5 points in the basketball game. Those are straight wagers. Those are each 3 individual bets, right? So all of these bets that I make with the positive EV tool are straight wagers. So as you can see in my May, I deal with a lot of variance just off of straight wagers. I made almost $900 in the month of May, but I had a lot of red days. So you can see I deal with a lot of peaks and a lot of valleys. So there's a lot of variance, and this is just with straight wagers. So you're saying, okay, Billy, that's great. Who cares about straight wagers? Why? How does this pertain to UnderDog Fantasy and PrizePicks? Here's how it pertains. All right, so a few weeks ago on the OddsJam channel, Alex Monahan, the co-founder, in my opinion, the GOAT of sports betting, made this video. Link will be in the description about how you can crush UnderDog Fantasy. Okay, and so these are his win-loss record, his ROI from Pickett, a third-party bet tracker for 2022 and for this year of 2023. So whether it's on YouTube or Twitter, which in my opinion, Twitter is the friendliest online community in the history of humanity, right? Alex has made almost $50,000 in 2022 off of UnderDog Fantasy. Now, if you're familiar with, OddsJam's content, we promote that you should be betting 5-pick entries on UnderDog. They are the mathematically most profitable. They have the biggest edge. And that's what we believe here in OddsJam. And the content that I produce is all about a mathematical edge, data, numbers, no gut feelings. Something that gets me so fired up on YouTube comments and Twitter is people just going, oh, well, the OddsJam Daily Fantasy Optimizer, it's trash, bro. Look at this slip. It lost. Alex Monahan has made almost $50,000 in 2022 off of UnderDog Fantasy alone. That's his win-loss record. He placed 394 bets in 2022 on UnderDog Fantasy. He won 68. That's 17% win rate. What does that mean? He lost 83% of the time. So if you want to see, when I showed you my variance off straight wagers, and it's like this, when you're doing daily fantasy sites, and I truly believe in 5-pick entries on UnderDog Fantasy, and in PrizePicks, I truly believe in 5 and 6-pick entries because that is the mathematically most profitable route that you need to go in making money. Your variance on daily fantasy sites, when one entry has 5 or 6 picks tied to one entry, your variance is going to be like this. And then maybe a little here, and then a little bit more up, And then this guy lost 83% of his entries, and he made over $50,000. $50,000 he made. Yes, you're going to lose a lot on daily fantasy sites. You need to have the stomach. Alex knows the data's good. The math is sound. He can deal with the variance. So straight wager variance is going to be rough. Daily fantasy variance, in order to be a long-term profitable sports bettor, is going to be like an atomic bomb. It's going to be way more chaotic. If you aren't ready for that or don't understand that and you can't take that heat, get out of the kitchen. Now, right now, I'm going to definitely sound like an old man here, right? I understand that not everybody maybe has the time, the money, the resources to do positive expected value betting. Maybe you don't want to sit here and make 20, 30, 40, 50 bets every day, grinding it in and out, right? Everybody loves the lottery tickets. That's why daily fantasy sites are so popular. First off, because they're on player prop bets. Everybody loves that. And then they're parlay slips, right? You put $10 down on a 6-pick entry on PrizePicks, you make 25x, you make $250. Heck yeah, everybody wants to do that. But what you have to understand is this man made almost 400 entries in 2022, only hit on 17%, and was wildly successful. That's because every entry he made was a 5-pick entry. Now, in 2023, as of that recording when Alex shared his screen and his picket stats, he's hit about 20%. So 20% of his plays he's cashed on UnderDog compared to 80% that he loses. And so if you don't understand how he only wins 20% of his entries, but he's made almost $30,000 this year, that's okay. You just need to take a step back and understand how odds work and payouts work. That's not that big of a deal. But what drives me bonkers is people online just love to dog these plays, but then they're like, well, I don't understand how this guy's made so much money. So if you want to do daily fantasy sites, or maybe you live in California and that's all that's available to you other than offshore books, I get it. I understand. But you need to understand that the variance that you will deal with when it comes to daily fantasy sites is going to be like an atomic bomb. It is going to be a massive wave, massive ride. When it comes to positive expected value betting, you're going to deal with variance, but not to the level or degree that you will with daily fantasy sites. And that's the point that I want to get across. Know the arena that you're stepping into. And when it's daily fantasy sites and you're only placing maybe 1 or 2 slips a day, it's really tough. And I want to leave you with one more point. All right, so the last point that I want to leave you with is a great follow on Twitter. Smoke the Books is the handle. I don't know him, but what he just pumps out is incredible stuff. So this is a simulation that he runs based off of an EV edge, right? Your positive EV edge of 5%. And let's say you put your bets at around plus 100, right? And assuming that you win 52.5% of your bets. And these are 10 different simulations as you see the blue lines, and you can see the profit and loss, right? Compared to if your average odds was plus 500 and you had a 5% edge and you only hit it 17.5% of the time, you could see a simulation of 1,000 bets made. You could see the bigger risk, bigger reward. And so this is something that you need to keep in mind when it comes to like PrizePicks and UnderDog Fantasy, because we're doing 5 and 6 leg parlays. And so this is a simulation over 1,000 bets. So keep it in mind, guys, that just because you placed 30 bets on PrizePicks and maybe you lost 29 in a row and you're like, this PrizePicks and OddsJam stuff is bull crap. This doesn't work. You need to understand variance. You need to understand that you need to put in a lot more plays and that you're only going to maybe hit on, 10, maybe 15% of the plays, right? So it's something that you really need to keep in mind. This is the cold, hard facts. And if this isn't for you, that's okay. You just probably shouldn't do it because you're not going to make money on it long term. You need to believe in the math, believe in the numbers. So that's really what I want to leave you with, guys. You need to understand this cold, hard truth. I'm not trying to discourage anyone from using the daily fantasy sites. I'm going to go a little bit harder in the paint right now because after seeing this math and seeing these numbers, I really want to get after it because I believe I know in the long run I can make money. I just have to deal with a lot of variance, right? Again, if you like this type of content, smash that thumbs up button. Leave a comment if you think this is really dumb. If you think that I'm, telling you not to do PrizePicks and Underdog, let me know, right? And if you've dealt with some of this yourself in the past, let me know, because we're all going through it right now. Make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification so you don't miss the videos that I drop. If you have questions, guys, hit me up on Twitter or leave a comment. I answer every question. I answer every comment. It's free. Doesn't cost you a dime. I really appreciate you stopping by for this video, and we'll catch you in the next one.